Welcome to the Stoic Strength, a sanctuary where wisdom meets willpower and philosophy becomes a way of life. Here we delve into the ancient yet ever-relevant teachings of Stoicism, aiming to uncover the enduring strength that lies in self-discipline, resilience, and the pursuit of virtue. Our mission is to provide you with the tools and insights necessary to navigate life's tumultuous seas with grace and fortitude, transforming obstacles into opportunities for growth. In the grand tapestry of Stoic philosophy, where wisdom weaves through the fabric of everyday life, lies the profound quest for inner mastery and peace. Stoicism, an ancient yet enduring beacon of clarity, teaches us the art of living with intention, resilience, and virtue amidst the inevitable trials and tribulations of existence. Central to this philosophical odyssey is the challenge to train our minds to respond, not react, to the myriad stimuli that life presents, turning potential disturbances into opportunities for growth and enlightenment. This exploration delves into the heart of Stoic wisdom, guided by the timeless insights of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Their teachings, like stars in the night sky, illuminate our path toward mastering the nuances of our internal landscapes. Through the application of Stoic principles, we uncover the power of reframing our perceptions, the courage to face our mortality with grace, and the resilience to bear life's burdens with dignity. Each step on this journey invites us to cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness, to align our actions with our highest values, and to embrace the freedom that comes from within. In training your mind, you must come to the consciousness that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. At the core of Marcus Aurelius' teaching is the profound realization that our strength lies in our ability to control our internal state, rather than the external circumstances. The tumults of life, its trials, injustices, and unpredictabilities, often seem to hold sway over our happiness and peace of mind. Yet Aurelius compels us to look inward, to the only realm over which we have absolute dominion, our minds. This principle is not a call to passivity or resignation, but a rallying cry for empowerment. It's an invitation to engage with life from a place of inner sovereignty, where our responses are products of wisdom and deliberation, rather than the whims of circumstance. To embody this teaching, one must cultivate a practice of mindful awareness, constantly observing the movements of the mind with the detachment of a sage. When faced with provocation, pause and remind yourself that while you cannot command the winds, you can adjust your sails. In this space of mindful pause lies your power to choose a response that aligns with your values and virtues. Practical exercise. Each morning, set an intention to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. When you notice yourself beginning to react impulsively to an external event, take a deep breath and recall Aurelius's words. Ask yourself, is my reaction within the domain of my control, or am I giving power to external events? Choose instead to respond in a way that reflects your mastery over your mind. Next is freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Epictetus, with his characteristic clarity, cuts to the heart of human suffering and liberation. The quest for freedom, he argues, is not a pursuit of external conditions aligned with our desires, but a liberation from the desires themselves. It is the freedom from being at the mercy of things outside our control, other people's opinions, material possessions, status, even our own bodies and life itself. This Stoic wisdom teaches us to draw a clear boundary between what is within our control, our thoughts, judgments, and actions, and what is not. By investing our energy only in the former, we attain the true freedom that comes from non-attachment to the external. The practice of this principle involves a rigorous examination of our concerns, desires, and fears, followed by a conscious effort to release our grip on all that we cannot control. Practical exercise. Reflect on areas of your life where you feel anxiety, frustration, or discontent. Identify which aspects of these situations are beyond your control. Make a conscious decision to release these concerns, focusing instead on your response and actions that align with your values. Whenever you find your peace disturbed by external events, remind yourself of Epictetus's distinction and redirect your focus towards your own agency and freedom. Next is, we are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. Epictetus. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who lived the principles he taught, brings to light the root cause of our disturbances. Not the external events themselves, but our judgments and interpretations of these events. This insight reveals the battleground of our peace and contentment to be the mind itself. And it is here that we must direct our efforts if we wish to cultivate a life of serenity and strength. To challenge our perceptions is to question the automatic thoughts and beliefs that arise in response to life's events. It is to recognize that between the event and our reaction lies a space for choice, a space where we can decide whether to endorse our initial judgment or to seek a more balanced, constructive perspective. This practice requires a vigilant self-awareness and the courage to confront and question our habitual patterns of thought. Practical exercise. When confronted with a situation that elicits a strong emotional reaction, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is it the event that is causing my distress, or is it my interpretation of it? Consider alternative ways of viewing the situation. Perhaps there is a lesson to be learned, an opportunity for growth, or a chance to practice patience and forgiveness. By actively seeking these alternative perspectives, you train your mind to respond with wisdom rather than react with negativity. Next is, life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. Seneca. Seneca, with his eloquent insight into the human condition, highlights the source of much of our anxiety, a disconnection from the present moment. By ruminating on the past or worrying about the future, we scatter our energies and diminish our capacity to engage fully with the life that unfolds before us. The present moment, Seneca teaches us, is all we truly have, and it is here that we must anchor ourselves if we are to live a life of purpose and peace. Staying present is not merely a passive state of being, but an active engagement with the here and now. It means fully participating in the task at hand, listening attentively to those we are with, and appreciating the beauty and richness of life as it happens. This mindfulness enriches our experiences, deepens our connections with others, and enables us to approach life's challenges with a clear, focused mind. Practical exercise. Cultivate the habit of mindfulness by dedicating moments of your day to fully engage with the present. This could be as simple as focusing on your breath for a few minutes, savoring a meal without distractions, or listening intently in conversations. Whenever you find your mind drifting to past regrets or future worries, gently guide it back to the present moment. Remember Seneca's words and remind yourself that by staying present, you are living your life to its fullest potential. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. Seneca. Seneca's admonition to live immediately and fully in each day is a powerful antidote to procrastination, regret, and the endless deferral of life to an imagined future where conditions are perfect. It's a reminder that life unfolds in the present and that each day offers a microcosm of a lifetime's potential for growth, joy, and fulfillment. By taking each day as a separate life, we are invited to reset our intentions, clear away the detritus of past failures, and meet the day's challenges with renewed vigor and perspective. Practical exercise. Each morning, take a few moments to reflect on the day as a complete entity in itself, with its own opportunities and challenges. Set intentions that are aligned with your highest virtues and values, and approach the day's tasks as if they were the most important work of your life. In the evening, review the day not with harsh judgment but with a compassionate eye for lessons learned and progress made. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Seneca. Seneca's comparison of mental difficulties to physical labor underscores the Stoic belief in the value of challenges for personal growth. Just as the body grows stronger and more capable through the stresses and strains of physical exertion, so too does the mind develop resilience, flexibility, and endurance through the trials it encounters. This perspective encourages us to reframe our understanding of difficulties, not as obstacles to our happiness or peace, but as indispensable elements of our development and maturation. Practical exercise. When faced with a challenge, whether it's a difficult project, a strained relationship, or an unexpected setback, pause to acknowledge the opportunity it presents for growth. Ask yourself what virtues this situation calls you to embody, perhaps courage, patience, or wisdom, and consciously strive to act in accordance with these virtues. Reflect on past challenges you've overcome and the strengths you've gained from them, using these memories as a source of confidence and motivation. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Marcus Aurelius. In this profound piece of wisdom, Marcus Aurelius presents forgiveness not merely as a moral duty but as a powerful act of self-preservation and liberation. Holding on to anger and resentment in response to the wrongs of others does not harm them so much as it harms us, binding us to them and to the past with chains of bitterness and hurt. Forgiveness, then, becomes a means of asserting our own autonomy and peace of mind, a way of responding to injury with strength and equanimity, rather than with a reaction that diminishes us. Practical exercise. Begin the practice of forgiveness by acknowledging the hurt and anger you feel without judgment. Then, gradually shift your focus to the freedom that forgiveness offers, not excusing the harm done, but choosing to release its hold on you. Contemplate Marcus Aurelius's idea that being unlike the one who caused the injury means embodying the virtues they lacked, such as kindness, understanding, and compassion. Whenever you find resentment creeping back into your mind, gently remind yourself of the peace and power that forgiveness brings. If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. And it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now. Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius, in this insightful observation, uncovers the root of our disturbances, not the external events themselves, but our judgments about them. This Stoic principle emphasizes the liberating realization that we possess the power to choose our interpretations and, consequently, our emotional responses to the challenges life presents. The act of reframing our thoughts is not a denial of reality, but a conscious decision to focus on aspects within our control, our perceptions, attitudes, and actions. Practical exercise. Engage in the practice of reframing by identifying a situation that typically elicits a negative reaction from you. Instead of defaulting to your habitual judgment, pause to consider alternative perspectives. Ask yourself, what else could this mean? Or, how can I view this situation in a way that empowers me? By consciously choosing more constructive interpretations, you train your mind to respond with resilience and optimism, rather than react with distress or pessimism. He who fears death will never do anything worth of a man who is alive. Seneca. Seneca's contemplation on mortality, or memento mori, serves as a poignant reminder of life's impermanence and the urgency to live meaningfully. This Stoic practice encourages us to confront our fears of death head-on, not to dwell morbidly on our demise, but to clarify our values and priorities. By regularly reflecting on the inevitability of death, we are motivated to focus on what truly matters, to let go of petty concerns and trivial pursuits, and to live each day with purpose and vigor. Practical exercise. Incorporate a daily moment of reflection on your own mortality. This could be a quiet contemplation in the morning or an entry in your journal. Use this practice to remind yourself of the preciousness of time and the importance of living in accordance with your highest values. Let the awareness of life's finitude inspire you to make choices that reflect the legacy you wish to leave behind. It does not matter what you bear, but how you bear it. Seneca. Seneca's counsel on bearing life's burdens speaks to the heart of Stoic resilience. It's an acknowledgement that while we may not have control over the challenges and sorrows that befall us, we possess the freedom to choose our response. This Stoic virtue of endurance is not about passively accepting misfortune, but about actively engaging with adversity in a manner that reflects our character and values. It's in the how of our bearing that we find our true strength and dignity. Practical exercise. When confronted with difficulties, big or small, take a moment to reflect on how you can bear them in a way that aligns with your principles. Whether it's through patience, courage, or compassion, choose to respond in a manner that you will look back on with respect. Remember, it's not the burden itself but the quality of your response that defines your experience and growth. Through the Stoic practices of reframing our thoughts, contemplating mortality, and cultivating resilience, we are guided towards a life of greater purpose, clarity, and tranquility. These teachings from Marcus Aurelius and Seneca not only challenge us to examine our perceptions and priorities, but also empower us to face life's adversities with courage and grace. By embodying these principles, we learn to navigate the complexities of existence with a calm and steady hand, ensuring that our responses to the world around us are always measured, thoughtful, and aligned with our deepest values. Guided by the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, we've unearthed the tools necessary to cultivate a resilient and responsive mind. These practices invite us into a daily practice of introspection, challenge, and growth, encouraging us to meet the complexities of life with a calm and steady heart. As we move forward, let us carry these teachings with us not as mere concepts but as living principles that shape our actions and interactions. In doing so, we honor the legacy of the Stoics, contributing to a world where wisdom, virtue, and peace prevail.